Alright, ZTV Maniacs. In this video here, we are going to be taking a look at Warriors Abyss, which is a game that kind of came out of nowhere. Adjusting things here. Thought I had it the way I wanted, but apparently I don't. Okay. We're going to take a look at Warriors Abyss, which is a new game. It kind of came out of nowhere. It was kind of shadow dropped at a Sony uh, state of play or whatever they call their event. As you'll see once we start playing, it's a roguelike. It's kind of a combination between Dynasty Warriors or Warriors Orochi and Hades, which most people that know me know those are two of my favorite games. So it was almost like, well, they designed a game directly to cater to me. How about that? We're playing the PC version. You can also get it on every major current console. Okay. So you can get it for PlayStation, Xbox, and I think it's on Switch as well. So, in this game, we are trying to stop a demon from overtaking hell. Why it matters which demon rules hell, I couldn't begin to tell you. This is the Hall of Bonded Souls. This is where you unlock characters and formations and other passive benefits. I already have all the characters that are currently in the game unlocked. They will be adding characters periodically through free DLC. They do have paid DLC, which is cosmetics and costumes. You can also unlock a unique weapon for each character in this mode, but it costs 50,000 of these units here, which I have 44,000 of. You use these to unlock characters and stuff on this board, and also once you have unlocked everybody, you can still use them to unlock the special weapon for each character, which gives them an extra passive benefit, which we'll see in a minute. So we're gonna jump into the game. Here's our big roster of characters. So it's mostly characters from Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors. Pretty much, I think they pretty much swap the traits from Warriors Orochi 3. So we've got all the all stars here. We've got waifus galore. So every character has. So we'll just look at one of them here. Every character has a unique passive benefit. So like you can see for Shingen here, he has the Tiger of Kai. It's his passive ability. Characters with the Takeda emblem are more likely to appear. And again, we'll kind of explain all this as we go into a run. And then you see a second one unlocked by acquiring a unique weapon. So there's two ways to unlock unique weapons for each character. At the board that we saw, and you can also randomly find them in a treasure chest, which we'll get into that. It's very rare to find a weapon this way, but I've gotten maybe about half a dozen or so in that method. So like you can see here, if I look at like Lu Bu, you can see he has his second ability. Increases attack for every Lu Bu army emblem. And again, we'll look at these emblems in a minute, and then increases attack and defense by 50% if you have red hair treasure. So after killing a boss, you get to pick a special treasure for them. So this is actions. This is a list of the characters' moves. Some of these moves you have to unlock during the run by leveling up. And then we have our possessions. So we have the circular emblems are his ability emblems. So he has one of skill, one of charm, and one of slay. So these are like your stats kind of, and the more emblems of each type you get, you unlock more abilities during that run. And then he also has other traits. He has Oda, Daimo, 3 Heroes, Master Gunner, and Talent. And these are used to unlock other certain things. So like we see here, like if we take a look again at Lu Bu, it increases attack for every Lu Bu army emblem. So you see here Lu Bu as the Lu Bu army emblem. So other characters that are like affiliated with him in the story, like Diao Chan, for example, would also have the Lu Bu emblem. So like if you ally with those characters, then you get that power, that benefit. So for this run, I'm going to take Nobunaga Oda. He's one of the stronger characters in my opinion. We also have his unique weapon. Increases attack by 7% for every Oda emblem. So like his allied generals have the Oda emblem, so he'll get an attack buff if I get those. So this is our traversal level. So as you beat the game, you can unlock higher and higher traversal levels, which make the game harder, but you unlock more stuff. So we're gonna start. So I've cleared level 1 with him, so we're gonna play traversal level 2. So here we go. We're going into hell. Okay, and like I said, I'll explain the game as we go. So it plays. It basically at its core plays like a Dynasty Warriors game, but it's top down again, kind of like Hades. Okay, so we're gonna at this tree. We're gonna form an alliance with a hero here. So we can pick from a random hero to align with. And then we get that character's emblems added to ours, and this is how we level up. So, this guy has a wisdom and an ice. She's got a charm and an ice. He's got a wisdom and a wind. I'm going to take this guy because he has an Oda emblem, and that's going to give us that attack buff. And then you can see on the left, each character has unique abilities that... you need certain abilities to unlock. You need certain emblems and abilities to unlock these things. And then again, we get different passive benefits depending on how many emblems we get. So now this character is also added to our summoning pool. And this is added to... The summoning ability is connected to each attack. So like you have like your charge 1, charge 2, like in a standard Dynasty Warriors game. The character in slot 1 will be connected to my charge 1 attack, like so. So when I do it, that's the actual charge 1. But when I press the button again, then he comes out and does some other attack. So now we get to pick we get to pick our next path. So like this will let us form an alliance with a hero, and it'll be just like a hero from the entire pool. This will specifically pick from the heroes that have a speed emblem attached to them. So this is the way you can kind of, when you're doing this, you can kind of temper your build. Like if you want to go after a certain ability, you can do it that way. And then this will give us Karma Embers, which are what we use on the board to unlock stuff. I'm gonna go after a speed emblem, because you want to unlock at least a couple of those early on. Because again, we'll see the passive benefits that you get as we go. So we pretty much, and sometimes you get an orb, which will give us additional abilities as well. So you get to pick from one of 3 emblems. When you get an orb, you get to pick from one of 3 random emblems. So you can see here, so when I get my speed icons up to level 1, then I unlock Invulnerable Evade, which basically it's basically exactly what it says. When I do a dodge move, I'm invincible during that. This will unlock the Assemble ability. We'll cover that. And then this is a freeze duration. This will increase our ice power. I am going to take the speed. Again, because we want at least a few points of speed to unlock certain basic abilities. Okay, so we're going to get a hero here. Let's take a look. Okay. So we've got Hanzo Hattori. He's got 2 speed emblems. This guy's got a speed and a fire. This guy has... Usually, if I have the chance to unlock... Certain characters have more than... Most characters have 2 emblems attached to them. A few have only 1. Some of them have 3, and a couple of them have 4. Usually, if I have the option of taking a character that has more than 2, That's who I'm going to take. And if you look at the number on the bottom right, that's kind of our overall power from taking each option. So if you're ever in doubt, you can just kind of take the one that makes your number go big. But over time, you kind of learn that you'll want to build your characters certain ways. So this guy actually also has an Oda emblem attached to him, as you see there. So that's also going to increase our power. All right. So now this is a regular hero. This is Karma Embers. This is a hero with a skill emblem. And again, early on, we want to unlock at least one of those because you need the skill emblems to unlock your move set. You can see this guy has a pretty strong attack. Actually, this is his ability. It's pretty strong, but again, we kind of want to build that up. Okay, so now here's our choices. And actually, he has Oda starts with a skill emblem, so actually his first part of his moveset's actually automatically unlocked. It's pretty even here, so I'm gonna go. Any of these have an Oda emblem attached to them. Sometimes that's useful too. I'm gonna go with, when in doubt, go with waifu. She actually also has a good. She also has a good attack. You can see that. That's her summon attack. Okay, so now this emblem here, you see, this has a treasure chest next to it, which means there's a mission attached to this this level. So Oda is pretty strong. Okay, so now here's when you clear the basic stage, then you get a mission at the end. So this is pretty simple. It's just defeat another 70 chumps. Okay, so we cleared that. We got an orb. I'm going to take the charm ability. I'm going to take the charm emblem. Now our assemble gauge charges increases. So this meter on the bottom middle, underneath all of our characters, that's the assemble gauge. When that is full, you can unlock this. You can call on this super summon, which calls all of your characters on the board at once, and then they can really do a lot of damage. I usually save that for bosses. Okay, so now because we cleared the mission, we get a treasure chest. This can have just about anything in it. Okay, we got some Karma Embers. Alright, that's cool. Alright, let's get a hero here. Alright. Any of these characters have an Oda emblem? No. In that case, I'm going to take Lu Lingqi. She's Lu Bu's daughter, for those wondering. Because she has a Slay emblem, and we want to build a... You want to get... So every character usually has an element attached to them, and you want to get your any of your elements up to 4, because that means then those will. Okay, so this is a fog of war. So this is we get to pick one of these 3 choices. So we can either take more Tears of Blood, which we can use to buy stuff during the run, more Karma Embers, which you already discovered, or we can improvise whatever this situation is. This is kind of a coin flip. We have a 70% chance of getting crystal beads or a 30% chance of nothing happening. Now, a crystal bead will enable you to pick an extra hero at one of the trees. So I'm going to take that because that'll enable us to get more heroes. That's going to make us stronger in this run. Or we get the 30% chance of getting nothing, which we took a gamble and it didn't pay off. You get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir. Alright, we got another mission. Defeat 80 enemies. So anytime you see purple stuff on the ground, you gotta avoid that because that's where an enemy attack is gonna be coming. You'll see later on it gets pretty nuts and it's hard to dodge that. Okay, we got another treasure chest. We got beef. That would restore health, but we are already full. Okay, so let's see who are our choices. Alright, so again, Cao Cao, he has 3 emblems. So we are going to take him. Also because him and Nobunaga are practically the same character. They just altered them a little bit. They're like, okay, we want to make Nobunaga kind of badass when we make Samurai Warriors. So we're just going to make him look a lot like the Cao Cao model from Dynasty Warriors. There's a bunch of characters in Samurai Warriors that are like that because Dynasty Warriors came out first. Alright, here we go. Here's another... Alright. So we can... So here's another thing. We have an option. We can either fully restore our health, or we can have it so that we get 10% of our health at the start of each of the next 5 phases. I'm going to take that option because we're already at full health. And that way, if we take a little damage... Early on, we're pretty much going to plow through... We're going to plow through most stuff. It also doesn't hurt that I've leveled Nobunaga up. Every time you get 50 levels for a character, they get a permanent stat upgrade. Okay, so I'm going to take speed here. That's going to increase our evasion count. That basically means I can dodge. Your dodge is on a cooldown. But now that I have a certain number of speed emblems, I can dodge twice in a row. And then it recharges. Okay, so we're going to take this one. This is strength. This is basically going to increase our defense. I'm not huge on any of these options. Well, I'll take Cao Ren because we're close to getting ice to level 4. All right, and I'm going to take this option. I usually take, if there's a treasure chest, I usually go that route because then I have that small chance of unlocking a super weapon. Now, if I unlock a super weapon, it's going to be for a random character. But either way I look at it as it's 50,000 car members I don't have to spend at a later time. Again, assuming I want to play this game enough to ever unlock everything, which would be ridiculous. But you never know. I mean, this is one of those games where it's like, I'll probably play it. I've been playing it a lot since it came out. I'll probably eventually get sick of it, but it's one of those games where it's like Hades or Balatro or Dead Cells or any of these games where it's like, okay, every once in a while I want to come back to it for a while and play it again. So I'm going to take Slay because Slay is Nobunaga's primary element, so that it's good for him to have that. I usually try to level up the primary element for a specific character. Okay, so this time we got a wind emblem, so that's okay. I mean, we're not really focusing on that, but it's okay. Alright, so here we got Xiahou Dun. So now you can see we've got 4 Slay emblems, so now it's going to apply the Slay attribute on some of our attacks. Also, Xiahou Dun is generally a badass. So now our special attacks will apply the Slay. So now we want to go here. I want to go here because the boss is coming up. And I'm going to just rearrange my... So this is going to... It's going to rearrange my characters to whatever their optimum is. Alright, so we're going to take on the boss. So now here comes the boss. It's a fat fuck. Pardon my French. So, to be able to damage this guy, first you got to knock his barrier down. So now, after certain attacks, the boss will... You see where if they flash yellow, if I hit him with a special attack while he's flashing yellow, that'll kind of daze him, and I'll get some bonus... I'll get some bonus to my assemble gauge, which I'm already full on, but again, I'm saving activating it until I've knocked him down. By the way, when he does that belly flop, that you really want to get out of the way of that because that does a lot of damage. That does like 50 to 60 points, depending on what your defense is. Again, because he's a fat piece of you-know-what. Okay, so he's down. So as soon as he goes down, then I activate So now everybody's showing up, and they're all adding their power to mine, and we're gonna try to do as much damage to him as we can before he gets back up. Okay, so he got back up, but because I'm gonna activate and I'm activating my Musou attack, and also because I've got a big super blast at the end of this, we pretty much knocked his shield down again, and we knocked him down again right away. Now, again, it's one thing to note is that once the boss goes down for the first time, regular enemies also start appearing, so that can make the fight harder. Depending on how well your power is, it is possible to just knock the guy down. It is possible to just kill him in one go. Okay, well, we got an orb. Orb! Alright, so let's see. Upgrade flame power, raise attack speed. Okay, we're gonna increase our skill. That's gonna raise our attack speed. This guy attacks reasonably quick, so I won't notice a big difference, but again, we want to upgrade his skill level anyway. Because that's going to upgrade more of his moveset and also other abilities. So the next time we knock him down, we should be able to finish him off. Again, stay the hell out of the way of that belly flop. Okay, I'm just gonna activate this because that way we'll make sure to kill him. We probably would have killed him outright, but the nice thing is if I activate assemble and I kill the guy before it expires, it doesn't waste that entire bar. I get to keep whatever's left. So when you kill the boss, we get a relic, which is random. And we get to take one of these things which give us a big permanent upgrade. So this is going to give us 3 emblems of a random type, but it's going to cut our assemble charge gauge charge by 25% for 5 phase, which I really don't care about, because I'm probably not going to use it until I get to the next boss. Adds 50% of my speed to my defense, or increase my maximum health by 30%. These are all pretty good. I'm going to go with the maximum health upgrade. There's other ways, like sometimes you'll get a peach tree, which you can increase your maximum health. I usually don't take those because I think that getting more heroes is the best way to build up your power. By the way, I can carry as many heroes as I want. It's just that I can only have, you can see there's 6 on the bottom there. I can only equip 6 at one time. And having certain ones in your group will power up like other certain ones. So like if you have the 3 Peachtree brothers, Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei, like for example, they would get a power up. Like their summon abilities and stuff like that. Or like if you're playing as one of those 3 and you get the other 2 as allies, you can get a power up from that, for example. Okay, we got some karma embers. So this is the peach tree. This would heal us and give us a health upgrade, but it's kind of it's not as beneficial as you want to. Like it's nice. Like sometimes I'll take it because it will give me a safe. It's basically a phase. It's also a phase where I don't have to fight anything. It's kind of like in Hades. Like if you play Hades, and sometimes you get like a room where there's just like a fountain in it, and you get to heal. But also more importantly, you don't have to fight anything. Or like if you go in the shop, it's a room where you don't have to fight anything, and sometimes that can be useful. So but again, we got a 30% health upgrade. And that's probably going to be all we need. Okay, we got an orb. Okay, so now we have the option of, so now we've got 4 ice emblems, so now now we can do ice and slay. And each of these each of these elements do different stuff. Okay, so here we've got two different choices that give us two emblems. Or three emblems, rather. We can take Tokugawa or Zhuge Liang. I'm going to take Tokugawa because he's going to give us more defense. And because this is the highest difficulty level I've attempted, that's going to be beneficial. Okay, so this is a King's Cauldron. We can spend the Tears of Blood, those red jewels that we've been acquiring to buy stuff. But I'm actually going to take this because this is so you can see how it's all pulsating and shit. This is a danger zone, which is going to be a harder thing. But it has a Slay emblem, which is good for us. And it also has a mission. So eventually we will want to do a King's Cauldron because we'll want to unlock new formations. Because the basic one we have is kind of just nothing. And eventually we'll want to get ones that are more powerful, but one thing to also note is that the action is a lot smoother on my computer monitor than it is on the TV. So there's an axe. So I'm playing this on my computer, but I'm broadcasting it to the TV as well. I'm cloning the thing. I notice it's a lot choppier on the TV because my TV doesn't have as good of a refresh rate as my monitor does. But alright, here's the mission. Defeat 100 enemies. There's an orb. Orb! Raise attack. That's always good. For the purposes of this video, it's good enough. I probably should just hook my Steam Deck back up and play this on here, but I mean my save file transfers over, so. But whatever. Alright, we got some Tears of Blood. And we're gonna get a Slay hero. Wei Yan gives us 2 Slay emblems. But I'm gonna take Lu Meng because that's gonna give us our second batch of new attacks. Look at all those attacks he does. Alright. Let's just take the general one. By the way, you also have a certain number of re-rolls you can do. So, like, if you don't like any of the heroes that you're given, you can try re-rolling. Or, like, say you're trying for a certain hero. Like, you know, like, say Lu Bu might be behind there, or Guan Yu, or one of the more powerful characters. You know that based on what you've taken, they might show up there. You can re-roll and try to get them. So Nobunaga is really strong. Alright, we're going to take the ice. Alright, this time we're going to take Wei Yan and get his two points of Slay. Orb! I'll take Vigor. Vigor is tied to attack strength. So for our elements, we're kind of focusing on Slay and Ice, which are usually what I focus on if, like, my character doesn't have a different element. Ice freezes enemies, and Slay gives you a chance to one-shot kill the lesser goons. And the reason that it's beneficial is not so much the one-shot kills, but actually as you get to higher levels of Slay, you can have it so that if Slay activates, you get like you get like 1% of your health back if you kill somebody with it. So that's like, basically to me it's like free healing. So it's like in many other roguelikes, your options for healing can often be limited. Alright, we got a treasure. Ah, here we go. See, we got a rare weapon. We got Sao Ren's unique weapon. Alright, so that's great. I'll probably try playing him next. So that'll give him some kind of pass. So again, that's 50 grand in whatever's that we just saved. I'll take Jiang Wei. He's got 2 beneficial things. So you see, like, these will also benefit other heroes in our repertoire. Okay, so I'm going to take the king. We've got... I usually try to wait to take the King's Cauldron until I've got over 5,000 Tears of Blood. So now we get to take different... So actually these cost more because we're playing on a harder difficulty level. So... These will each give us... Each formation will give us a benefit. Like, it'll give an attack buff to characters in certain slots, and then it also gives us a passive benefit, and then a formation special attack. So I usually just take the one that gives us the most power, so I'm going to just take the spider formation. And then you can also spend money to unlock other... You can also spend your crystals to unlock other heroes. So I'm going to take 1 pink, because he's going to give me a range upgrade and a slay power upgrade, and that's a lot of power. Okay. You can also buy healing or Musou power here if you need them. So once I get that, then I want to go here, and I want to quick equip that formation. So you'll notice I got a pretty big boost in power for that. Alright, so we're liking that. So we're kind of beating the beans out of stuff. Like I said, this is one of the, in my opinion, this is one of the stronger characters. Like, Lu Bu, as he is in pretty much every Koei game that he appears in, is ridiculous. The first time I ever cleared a run was with him. And I played like 1 round, and I did like his attack, and it cleared out like the entire room, and I was like, well, this guy's broken as hell. Nobunaga Oda. Oda is also very strong. Alright, so interrupt telegraphed attacks. Alright, so we'll take that. That's going to give us more strength. Alright, we got a treasure. We got Tears of Blood. That's alright. And let's see. So sometimes you'll get like a hero with like a yellow thing like this that apparently means that they're stronger, but I've never really noticed a difference. So I'm going to take him because he's giving us the biggest power upgrade. So now we've got this. Also, this reduced our evasion cooldown by 10%. So that means, okay. So, all right. Well, it's time for the boss. This boss is kind of an asshole. So when he does this charge, he's going to do a charge in the opposite direction, so it's best to just kind of stay where you are because he's going to come back. So then you just kind of dodge to one side, and you'll get pretty much a free hit on him. Again, anytime he flashes yellow, that means he's vulnerable, and we can get a good shot in on him. All right. Yeah, we didn't quite one cycle him, but we took his barrier down immediately after with the big finishing hit. So for all intents and purposes, that might as well have been a one cycle. And we got an orb. Let's increase the symbol charging. Okay. So we want the piss out of him. Alright, let's see what we get for him. Okay. Okay, so here's red hair. This shortens the summoning cooldown of the heroes in certain slots by 50%. But it also gives us more danger zones. I'm going to take that because I want to explain something. That actually stacks with any benefits that you have from increasing your charm. If you get your charm high enough, that will increase that will drop the cooldown of all your summons by another 50%, which basically means that if you have one of the horses equipped that reduces certain slots by 50%, and then you get the charm benefit to increase them all by another 50%, that basically means you can summon those heroes in those slots with no cooldown. This is why I found Diao Chan to be an extremely powerful character as well, because she gets a bonus to all of her charm emblems, which means that it's much easier for her to get her charm up to that threshold to get that 50%. So basically, I just got to the point where I was able to just spam the hell out of my summon attacks and just obliterate everything. And her moveset also is pretty good. Oda has a very powerful moveset that covers a lot of ground, as you see, and that's what makes him really good. Especially like when you're stacking some elements on top of it, he can really do a lot of damage. So the Slay element has a chance to inflict wound on an enemy, and any enemy that has wound on them is susceptible to a one-shot kill. And ice is kind of self-explanatory. Alright, so now here's summon cooldown 2. That's going to shorten all the hero summons by 20%. So that basically means like on those characters in slots 2, 4, and 6, we now have a 70% reduction because we have red hair. Alright. None of these are particular. I'm going to do a couple of rerolls here and see if I can get anything better. Yeah, we'll take Zhou Tai because he's got Slay. Alright. We'll take this one because we don't really need the wind emblem, but this one has a treasure chest on it. I don't think we'll get lucky enough to get a second unique weapon this run. I don't even know if you can get more than one. But you can also get emblems and other useful items out of those. Now you have to be careful when you do these missions because sometimes the boss of the previous stage will show up as the mission. Alright, there's our Musou attack. I don't even think I've actually used one. No, I used them against the boss. Okay, defeat the decoy warrior in 1 second. So the decoy warrior is just some random asshole that'll kind of spawn in the middle of everybody else. And you gotta kill him before the time runs out. Honestly, if you have your Musou filled up, you can pretty much kill him in one go. Now, I think that the Decoy Warrior's barrier actually will regenerate after a certain time. So that is one thing to watch for. Alright, well, we got an ice emblem. Okay, that's cool. I made a funny there. Okay, we'll take Zhang Fei, because he's got two fists. So that'll give us more power. Alright, these are all danger zones, so I'm just going to take the... Because I'm not really building Bolt or Wind this run, so I'm going to just take the general one and hope I get something with Ice or Slay. Okay, so we get a random thing. Alright. Reduces enemy attack. Okay, this is going to cost me some things, but this will increase my defense by 50% for the next 5 rounds. I see an orb. Orb. Oop, slay. If you get enough of an if you get enough points in a certain element, you get a special orb surrounding you that carries that element. I don't remember exactly how powerful it is because I've only gotten it like once or twice. Because usually I focus on my other stats. Charm and ice. Nice. Also, when in doubt, go with waifu. Let's see if we can get a new formation. God, that's the best one you can get, but of course I don't have enough to buy it. Well, I'm going to take this one because this is going to give us a boost for each Slay emblem we have. And it also gives an attack buff to everybody. And then I'll take this guy too. And we'll upgrade it. We'll swap that up. Alright. Sometimes you get a relic from defeating a boss that automatically unlocks all of your formations at once. And the benefit to taking that is once you get it, you can then spend all of your Tears of Blood. You can basically just spend it unlocking heroes to align with. We got the magic boots and the magic axe that gives us more power. It's like a temporary upgrade. Alright, we wasted all the suckers. And we got all the loots. Alright, what do we get? Give me somebody good. I played this guy in my last run. I played this guy's actually really strong as a playable character. But this guy's going to give me skill and ice power. Right, I'm going to say we've got a fairly good chance of being able to win this run. I see an orb. We'll take more Slay. I mean, technically, if I took to Bolt, I would get enough to be able to apply Bolt attributes. But I'm really kind of putting all my eggs into the Slay basket. And we blew everybody up. Some of them fly straight into the camera and blow up our camera. That's not cool. I can't afford a new monitor right now. I mean, I'd like... Oh, so now here we're going to have to deal with the boss again. Wherever that asshole is. Sometimes there's so much crap that I can't see on the screen that I can't see the marker on that shows where he actually is. So he's the same guy we killed. He's not quite as powerful. But the fact that there's so much crap on the screen, I can't even freaking see where he is. I damaged him. I still don't know where the bastard is. Get the axe. I only got 40 seconds left to kill him. I can't even see him. Well, usually once you knock one of these weaker versions of the boss down, you can pretty much just activate your assemble, and you'll probably be able to just waste it from there. There we go, we got him. We maintain most of our assemble gauge. Alright, well that implies our bolt element. Alright, I'm gonna take this, because we don't need the karma. I mean, the karma embers, it's okay to get the karma embers. Nothing wrong with getting karma embers, but they're not necessarily my focus. But there was a treasure chest attached to this, so we want that. Orb! Slay, increase wound probability. Okay. Okay, this mission is just kill 300 suckers. That shouldn't be a problem. Treasure, tears of blood. And we got some karma embers. Alright. Before the boss, I always like to just kind of optimize my formation. Alright, third boss. If the second boss was an asshole, this guy's a major asshole. He teleports and shit. And I hate him. Ow. Ow. Ow, I'm thinking a lot of... So you can see that actually some of these characters I'm only having a couple... Okay. Enough to explain. I had really low cooldown on some of those, the characters in 2, 4, and 6, because I have that. Oh man, I might not make it. If I don't take this guy down, I might not live long enough to take him down again. We'll have to see how much damage this does. I do like his evil laugh. He's got a... Oh, Nobunaga's got a good evil laugh. I like it. It's good. Alright, well, we got him. He almost died. But we got him. We got some health back. Alright, let's get a good treasure. Increases the number of heroes of crystal. Well, that's good because they'll give us more choices when we pick a hero. That's kind of good. All right, this is the last. This is the last level. All right, this gives us a 70% chance of increasing our maximum health by 10 or a 30. We're gonna take a gamble. All right, we got a health upgrade. So So I don't know. We might kind of peter out if we get to the last guy, because, like I said, we're really blowing the beans out of the chumps. But our performance against that third boss kind of gave me concern. Well, I took a lot of damage from something. We might not even make it to the boss. Orb! Consecutive hits recover health. Okay, so that means that, like, if we get a certain number of hits in a row, we get some health back. You probably see it on the bottom right. We're racking up a lot of hits. That's because, like, if I hit, I fell in a pit and I died. Well, so much for that. And then this asswipe gives me pep talk. Did you forget about Assemble? No, I used it against the boss. Okay, now we get to unlock it. We've got enough karma souls, whatever things, to unlock a second weapon for a character. Let's see who's somebody that's good. Yeah, we'll get hers. Why not? Actually, no. Let's get Guan Yu's. There's the oath play. Okay, so now we got Guan Yu's secondary. So now you'll see Guan Yu has a second weapon. Increase attack. Bestows normal attack with flame attribute when his health is below 50%. Okay, well, that's alright. So there we go. So we failed our run, but we did get a couple of legendary weapons, so it wasn't bad. So that gives you a sampling of this game. It's very addictive. Like, if you like Warriors games, I would highly recommend it, because it's got good element. It doesn't feel like they obviously borrowed assets from, like, Warriors Orochi probably 3, but so, you know, in a way they probably did just kind of slap it together, and they're charging a lot of money for the DLC, which is all just costumes. But the base game is only like $25, which is reasonable. And if you're into both roguelikes and Warriors games, then it's definitely a game that you want to look into.